Welcome back to the Orange Bowl Huddle. Today we are talking about football safety. Got two great guests here, orthopedic surgeon with Baptist Health, Dr. Yagnik, and Orange Bowl committee member and former NFL player Henri Crocket. They're joining us here today to talk about football safety. And of course, concussions and head injuries are in the news a lot. So Dr. Yagnik, I'll start with you. What are some of the advancements we've seen both in technology, I guess, and medicine in terms of concussions?
I think we're continuing to learn a lot about concussions. It's still kind of a black box when we look at it from a scientific perspective. Everyone responds to these injuries differently. In terms of the safety, we've seen a lot of advancements, both with helmet technology in terms of the design, the fit, as well as they're even getting very specific and now having position-specific helmets that are designed specifically for individual position groups to kind of meet the needs of these groups.
Henri, you've been around football for a long time. And for you on the field, how have you seen kind of the response to this change and what's changed with concussions?
Yes, over time, they've taken the head out of football. And I've been excited to see them go in that direction. And even at the Orange Bowl, we've been a leader in just educating not only the college coaches, but the high school coaches and about how to tackle, how to go about practicing, So the times have changed. When I was playing, we hit every day, and that has changed. Now it's more about walkthroughs, understanding where you have to be and things that you have to do. So they've really done a great job taking the head out of football.
Yeah, and Dr. Yagnik, even at the NFL level, we see these independent spotters now nowadays. And, whether you're watching the game at home or in the stadium, it's more noticeable in the field.
Absolutely. The more eyes on the field, the better from our perspective. Football is a fast game and there's a lot of moving parts and, things happening at different parts of the field. So a lot of eyes on the field to help the physicians on the sideline is very beneficial.
What should parents be aware of if they're putting their kids in youth football for safety?
I think the biggest thing, I tell all the parents is think about three things. One is you want your child to be properly conditioned, right? So to be, have good cardiovascular health, and as our kids get older, get them in the weight room and strengthen before they get on the field. I think two, being in South Florida, heat illness and being aware of the heat down here is super important, particularly for football, which is an early fall sport. So good hydration, making sure they're getting appropriate rest and shade. And then, finally, in terms of equipment, we want to make sure that kids have their own equipment that fits them properly. They're not borrowing friends or siblings' equipment. So I think all those things are really important.
And to follow up on that, Henri, just technique, learning how to tackle correctly too. How important is that from the youth level on up?
It's very important. I think it's equally as important making sure that your coaches are certified. I think that you start there. And then from that point, go out to practice. Take time to watch the kids at practice, seeing if their coaches are teaching them the correct way. And you can always Google things these days, but more importantly, I'll echo what Doc said. Go out and buy your own equipment. And there's great companies that's making great equipment these days. And make sure that your kid has the appropriate equipment that fits them, so they can move in a certain way, so it doesn't hinder them from extending their arms or tackling the correct way. So, and also I enjoy watching kids play. You want to start off with your kid playing youth sports, football particularly. Start off flag.
Right.
One thing that people don't realize, flags teaches you great fundamentals. It teaches you how to knee bend, get in the correct positions to be able to pull that flag, which ultimately turns in getting in a great position to make tackles. So a lot of times kids want to go directly to play tackle football, but I would urge parents to start the kids off with flag first.
Just thinking about every time I go to the airport, there's these signs for safety that says, if you see something, say something, for both players, parents, coaches, teammates on the field. How important is that in terms of player safety on the field when noticing something may be wrong with a teammate?
It's somewhat hard, but a lot of times these kids, they're not as well versed at understanding at that moment at young ages.
Sure.
But for parents and for coaches, it's important to actually go out and get these certifications so you know what to look for. And I think that's what it comes down to, and putting your kids in programs that really believe in continuing education if you're going to work with kids. Because back in my days, it was just really community leaders or someone just being more like a mentor that coach. Didn't understand what you was doing or didn't understand the fundamentals of the game. But we've evolved.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're proud at the Orange Bowl when we sat down, started talking about when concussions became a thing, right? The thing at the Orange Bowl, we wanted to be a leader in educating not just the high school, but the Little League coaches, and and providing them with certification to get certified and understand the importance of passing down correct information to these youth that they serve. So I think it's very important that they make sure that you find an organization that's has certified.
Yeah, and being as informed as you can on this topic
Correct.
is so very important. We were talking about before we sat down, parents asking you, should your kids play football because of some of the risks we see nowadays, Dr. Yagnik? What would you say to a parent who might ask that question?
It's a very individual decision for each family and kids, but I tell all parents that any sport you play, there's some inherent risks there. But to me, playing sports, whether it's football or any other sports, the benefits you get from being part of a team, both mental and physical, to me outweigh the risks of a sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah, this is a very interesting topic. I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. So I'm very glad you guys are both here to talk about this, giving fresh perspectives from both the player side and the orthopedic side. Could you guys talk about, and Dr. Yagnik, I'll start with you, the partnership that the Orange Bowl has with Baptist Health and making sure that, these things are understood and you guys are getting the information out to the community?
I think it's a great partnership. Two great organizations getting out into the community, talking about, the great game of football and promoting player safety and football safety. I think it's a wonderful partnership.
And Henri, obviously being an Orange Bowl committee member, I mean, this has got to be important for you guys. It's
very important. More important is that we're aligned, right? And I was, being on the Orange Bowl committee for a long time and being able to see the partnership that Baptist Health and the Orange Bowl has had and how it's grown. And when we want to get behind the education, they was at the forefront of that. So it's always to have a great partner, but more important is to have a great partner that's aligned with your mission. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's very cool. And someone who goes out to Dolphins practices a lot, and you see the Baptist Health training facility right there. It's very cool to see how important health and safety is for football. It starts at the top, and it, of course, always trickles down. So thank you guys so much, and thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Orange Bowl Huddle. We hope to see you next time. This is very informative, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for watching.